Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I am so excited. Hello. I am so happy. I am so motivated to be here with you right now. Let me start off by telling you that this is why I love the art of going live. This is why I love going live, right? Because I can just truly be me without focusing on every single thing being perfected. People understand that there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be errors, there's going to be mix ups like I did. I put the time for the live at 2 a.m. And so I didn't see as many registrations. And then I just saw it instead of 2 p.m. But guess what? I'm still here for you because I am going to give the people what they want. That's right. I don't care. I'm still going to do it. I said I'm going to give you a commitment, and that's what we're here for. So, for anyone who is wondering right now what's going on, Lion Flood, that is my name, and video content is my game. I am going to give you the lowdown, the secrets, everything that you need to know to get you comfortable and started on camera. That's right. We're going to be talking about lights, camera, action. Take a look. That's right. We're going to be talking about lights, camera, action. So, one of the things that we want to work on is going over visual mastery, right? Because when we're doing something, we want it to be visual. We want it to be where people can see us and go, wow, that's cool. That's different. That's unique. It's not the regular Zoom fatigue that I'm used to seeing. We're also going to be covering some lights, camera, and action, like I said, right? How to implement, where to put our lights at, different camera types. I'm not going to go too depth into it, but I'm just going to give you the basics of it. The advanced stuff I do in my course, which you have the option of joining as well. And then I'm also going to show you different interactive techniques that we're able to implement into our video content sessions, right? So that's how we're going to start off with that today. So you don't have to worry about being confused. We're going to get down to it. If you have questions, hey, this is interactive. I want your questions. I want you to ask me. So please do not think at any moment that you need to wait until the end or wait to a certain point. I'm going to ask you, though, to put it in a specific format, if you don't mind, for me, so you guys will be able to ensure that your questions are seen and answered because my system separates it, right? So it puts all comments on one side, all questions on one side, so I can ensure that I get to them correctly. So if you have questions, do me a favor and put them in this format on one side. Okay, I want you to put them in a queue, then write your question. Again, what that does is it ensures that your questions get seen by my system, which then feeds it to me and my assistant, and then we can work through them and get all of those questions up. Now, I'm going to tell you real quick, and I'm going to breeze through this here of why you should listen to me. Because whenever I go to an event, I'm going to listen and see what someone's doing and sing. One of the biggest questions on my mind is, why should I listen to you? Why should I work with you? Yes, you're online, but I want to know why. So let me show you just a little bit about who I am, what I do, and why I love doing what I do. So I am a proud alum of Full Sail University. It is an arts to graduate school, and we can explore art, design, business, film, television, games, all of those things, creating it, graphics, all of that stuff, right? So that's why I went to school at, and that's why I love doing what I do. So let me get rid of this there. Perfect. Get that out. Also, I am a big person who has been in his family oriented. I love it. I've been featured on Good Morning America. I have been, well, not featured. I've been on Good Morning America. So I won't say featured. Let me rephrase that there. But I've been on Good Morning America, it's ABC. This is my son. Really quick story with this picture. I was took him to like a place where they can explore different careers and so forth. And he had his doctor stuff and playing with the doll. And I said, yeah, ask her her how sick she is, whatever. And he looks at me and he goes, Dad, she's not real. I said, oh man, he's losing that innocence. He's losing that innocence, but I love him. The rest of the family, there's the rest of my family. Love him, big family guy. And everything I do for them, right? My goal is to retire my wife. I say it loud, I put it out there. I am a speaker and a host. I have been featured in several different things. Vegas Unveiled, which is a television show in Vegas, which I hosted and I was a speaker at. I also got to speak at the NAMBA, National Association of Women Business Owners, which I got to teach there. Very lovely. You might have seen me on television often. Like I said, I've been on major television shows. I'll show you a couple more here in just a second. I've hosted television shows, been on television shows, Vegas Unveiled again, hosted it, hosted a podcast television show. Okay, we'll go through a few more of those. Been on featured on this one. I say featured because I was featured on NBC Nightly News. My wife and I family, we got to be on NBC Nightly News. They came out, interviewed us, talked to us, put us on national television. Today Show, we've been on a Today Show. There you go again, seeing me hosting, talking to the audience and whatnot, being featured on there for them. So why do I show you that and went through that quickly? Because honestly, you don't care about all that, but I want you to see that when I come down and talk about visuals, when I'm talking about TV, I am talking what I know. I know how to um, show you how to elevate your presence on a camera. It's That's all I know how to do. I know it, right? So if you have questions, make sure you put them in there. I will show you one of the biggest secrets right now on the start, and then we'll jump into a little bit more of that training. So as you look at my camera here, you will see this, right? This arrangement. I call this my makeup. I'm about to take my makeup off. Don't run. Do not run. So look at this, and then you're gonna ask me how, what? Yes, it's true. Makeup off. Now look at the difference on how bright that is. Look at the difference on everything changes. The feel changes. This is how most people's videos are. They don't know it and they think this is fine, which, hey, if it works for you, it does. But you can also take that time to put on some makeup and make it look different. Now, tell me exactly how that feels, right? So we can all see that as it comes in, right? So, again, questions, comments, preguntas, después, put them in the comments and we will get to them. I will answer your questions. So, let's jump into the training. Let's see. Since I had it at 2 a.m., things might be a little off, but we're going to get through this. So let's first jump into this and see if we've got it set up the way we wanted to have it set up. We're about to find out. Let's go through this journey together. All right. So let me bring that back up. Introducing Go Live. You want to show up and show out. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to be memorable. If you're going to go and do content and make it, uh, you want to make sure people remember who you are and what you're doing. Okay. It's necessary. It's not something that you're going to jump to go viral initially, like everyone thinks, but it's necessary. Okay. So, this is a very quick mini presence webinar to show you how to spice up your live life. Play on words, get it? Spice up your live life. So, all right. Expectations. What should you expect from this? Who is this for? Why do we do this? I am still learning, and I've been in some classes with my coach, and I've come up with some great ideas and everything that they've been teaching me. So I'm actually going to take a look at a few of those to make sure I incorporate them because I wrote them down. I want to make sure they get out there because I loved it, and this is part of my training that I'm passing down to you. So this is for you if that's the phrase I have to say. This is for you if you are looking to do something different with your video content. This is not for you if you are thinking, I want to find something to help me go viral. That is not my thing. I'm a long game person. I'm not here to try to help you get viral, teach you those little tricks of that trade. I'm here to help you level up your video presence. Next thing she told me. All right, who is this going to benefit? This is going to benefit in general, and then I'll get specific. Anyone who does video content. Now, specifically, if you are a speaker, a coach, a consultant, if you are someone doing lives, webinars, teachings, that's who this is a little bit more for. If you are someone trying to do content just to put on TikTok and so forth, we do that. That's in more advanced courses, but this is just general information, okay, to help those people out. So what we're going to be talking about today, quality lighting, camera placement, your backgrounds, and I even am going to throw in a bonus. Now, let me do this here really quick first before we begin, because I'm a very straightforward person. I like to get this out there. I'm going to tell you an offer that I'm going to present at the end, but I'm going to do it now. That way it gives anyone who does not feel they want to be involved the chance to leave. I absolutely love doing it, but it's only $97. That's the only time I'm going to mention it, except at the end. If you choose to stay and you hear about it at the end, you have the opportunity of going into that. If not, you get free information regardless, so that you can use some of this to help you out. I love working with those type of people. So let me tell you about my ideal person who wants to work in that area, right? So now let's get back into this here. Lighting and setup. What is it all about? Effective lighting in your camera setup. Your lighting is probably one of the most important things that you need besides audio. because people will stick to your videos if your video may be grainy, if it may be shaky, if it's not top quality. They'll still stick around and give you a chance. But if your lighting and your audio is not up to par, they're gone. You can automatically believe that right away. They're gone. So let's talk about lighting setup. I use what's called a 3-point light setup that I was taught. What does that look like? Like this. You want to ensure good lighting conditions. Natural light is often the best, but if that's not possible, invest in soft, diffused lighting sources. And I'll tell you about some of those. Avoid harsh shadows on the face as they can be distracting. All right. So, as if you look at this diagram here, you're going to see the yellow dot. That's you. The camera's in front. You have a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. What do those look like? Oh, actually, did I turn mine on? Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can do that now because I didn't have it on, but that's okay. So I can get that on real quick. Bam. All right. So I'm going to show you what my lights look like here as well. What are my old lights, but they're still in the same position and whatnot. And then I'll show you. Okay, perfect. They're on. All right. Now, I have a key light to my left, a fill light to my right, and my backlights are behind me. And I will show you what they look like here in a second. But there's reasons why I have them there and at different angles, and let's kind of talk about that now. So as you can see, my key light, that's my brightest, but I have that at a 45-degree angle because I want that light to be coming down over my face. There's a couple of reasons why that works. Is number one, if you have glasses, then it gets rid of that glare. Okay, that's one thing that's helpful. I do have parts of that in my course as well that talks about how to get rid of the glare because that's very distracting when you're doing your presentations. And I have my fill light over here that's lower than my key light, and it's at 50 to 75% of the power that it can actually do. And I'll turn my light off here in a second so you guys can see it. And again, that key light's 45-degree angle. My backlight, very low intensity, and it's more of a diffusion type of light. And then I'll show you what those lights look like as well. But this setup is ideal and practical for what you're trying to accomplish. You want yourself to be looked at in a very pristine way. So look at this here. As you can see my lights, I'm going to turn them off and look at the difference, right? This is what most people are doing, but they're not conscious of what's happening when they do that. Now, sunlight, like I said, ideal, right? You can use natural light. That's very great, but you have to be conscious of a couple of things. Number one, you never want sunlight or a window to be behind you because your camera is focusing in on that. It's very distracting and it does not have any flattering looks on your face or on your features or so forth like that. Let me put this in here really quick. Hello. Someone just sent a message. Hello. All right, perfect. So then now, what happens with this right here also is if you can get that sunlight to come at an angle, then that works great. So for example, I have a window to the right of me over here. I don't use the sunlight on this one hardly anymore. Certain times I will. But what happens is if you're going to use that, you need to be conscious of what time of day you're using it at. Because the sun can start here, but then it moves. So now the shadows start going this way and they start casting a darker image on the side of your face. Right? That is very noticeable. So be conscious of where the sun is at and time of day that you're doing it, but never have the sun behind you facing directly into the camera. Just don't do it. We can go to a lot of things, but just don't do it. Okay. All right. So let's jump back into this and I'll show you a little bit more of what we're referencing here. Okay. And here we go. So next we're going to be getting into camera positions. Look at this right here. What do you think about when you first see a camera this far in this distance from someone? Most people are going to say you're going to get a wide shot. Possible. You can narrow the camera in so you're not in a wide shot. So if you look at the monitor, she has her camera kind of cropped in a little bit so that it ends at that last little green little circle that's over there, right? And that's because that she doesn't want to give the distraction of anything else on the sides, right? So you have the ability to do that. Now, ideally, you want to place your camera at the eye level or slightly above. This angle is generally the most flattering and it creates a more engaging connection with the audience. The reason why that's said is because if it's up, my camera's up and angled slightly as well, it kind of angles down a little bit into your face versus just seeing, let's say, your chin and neck down. Now your neck, your chin line, everything is hidden just a little bit more. And again, camera distance isn't all that important as long as your camera can focus in to where you want it to be at. Now you can have your camera close up on you, and this, what you're about to see next, is how my setup is. This is my old setup. I need to update this picture and put my new setup on there so you can see that. But it's still the same setup, just different placement. All right. So if you look here, as I was telling you, you can see the lights. Look at the lights first, right? The lights are at a different angle. The lights are focusing in, down, and then the one on the left side, if you're looking at it, it's more so for like the side of my face. If you can kind of see that angle. And then the other one on the right, it's angled, so that now it's coming down towards like my my eyebrows first, if you will, right? And that also helps with anyone who wears glasses or anything like that. It gets rid of that glare that you see inside people's glasses. Okay. So again, I welcome all questions. Throw questions, any comments in there. If you see something that can help, tell me how your system is. I want to help you grow and get better. And I don't want this to just be me telling you exactly what I do, right? I want to also know what you're doing so we can help with some of those ways. Now, I've also elevated to a teleprompter because my camera that you see there, I use a Sony AV, Sony 4, AV 7, AV, I forgot. But I use a really good Sony camera. Just remember that. I do have recommendations that I will put inside the chat of a list of items that will work great. Sony EV10, I think EZ10, it's one of the best cameras that you can start off in the starter kit. But now you will see in the next picture how I show you how to focus in on your, to look at your viewers, your audience. Okay, you'll see that. I don't use three monitors any longer. I use two. I still use two monitors, and two monitors will always be my preferred go to. Three is good, but at least two. I do not recommend just using one. But if you're starting off and that's all you have, then you do it, right? And then you can learn and then you can elevate and go a little bit higher from that right there. Okay. So any questions on that so far? Take a little pause for the cause. So most people also ask about background. I'm going to show you that right now. Let's talk about it, right? Backgrounds. You want to choose a clean and uncluttered background that does not distract from yourself. Consider, and I need to take this out and update this. I used to say consider a virtual background if you had none, if your background is not ideal. But I now, after seeing and studying more and more people using virtual backgrounds, I say no, get rid of them because you're fading away like Patrick Swayze and people can't see you in Ghost, and it's very, very distracting. Okay. But you know what? Before I even do that, let me go back to lights because I was going to show you a few of them. All right. So the lights you saw, because I just saw a question of someone asking me about lights. So for an example, this is one of the lights that I used to use. I upgraded. This is an Elgato Key Light Air. Now I'm not affiliated with Elgato. I get nothing from them, but if you use it, it's still a great light. This is on a stand, but I just took it off and it just screws in and it can sit right on your desk. Like my lights are sitting right on my desk right now. One of the great things about this is it has like this diffusion kind of thing. You could hear it a little bit on the front, which helps softens the light. So as it hits you, it's not as harsh or anything like that. So this is one of the best ways to start off. But if you again use what you can use, okay. Some other lights that you're going to see here that are my fill lights. I'm going to show you this. I use these lights here also. These are hue lights. They change colors, but I use it to add a little ambiance that you may not notice in the back there. Like if you're looking at it now, that adds that little ambiance light that goes back there. Okay, you can pay a little attention to it. It's in the corner right over there, right? So I use those as my fill lights, and I use them for different moods to change colors and so forth. Okay, so those are really quick things on the lights. Okay, all right, let's jump back into backgrounds. Why is this important? Well, I want you to look at this setup here. This is where the camera's about maybe 2 to 3 feet away from the chair where the presenter is going to be. But look at the background, right? It has three pictures back there and then a clock. Clean looking, very simple. You do not have to have a virtual background to make it look like you're in the office or someplace like that. Most people know it's fake. They want to know who you are. They want to know who your authentic self is. And right about here is where I usually get asked that question. And I will show you an example. People say, well, Lion, what about your background? It's virtual. Wow. So, no, it's not. This is something that I tell all of my students about, and I suggest for them to get highly. Oh, and also I didn't show you my other light as well. So, and I got this recommendation from Neo. This is a Godex. I forgot what the numbers are, but it's a really great light. Okay, this is Godex, and it's a bar light that. Ooh, look at that! That just made it. And so that's what happens. Perfect example. This is what happens sometimes when you use natural light behind you. The sun goes to the camera like this, and you don't notice it, but it darkens your camera. Okay, that's one of the things, right? But so let's say with this one, for an example, I have the ability to change it by using my system over here, and it's just again, it gives that ambiance to the back here that you don't see. Right? It's not usually this close. I'm just using it for the thing here, so it's not as strong. Right? But now, if I put it down, look at the ambiance of the floor. Right? Just gives a little different feel or color. Okay. But again, I'll show you this here really quick. Turn that off. Okay. So people say, well, what about your background line? That's virtual. Why are you not fading away? And that's because it's not. A little quick tip I always teach my people, my students, is this, right? It's a canvas. It's an actual physical item that I can touch. So it doesn't mix in with the camera or anything that's behind me, right? So let me show you someone whom I've worked with in the past, and that way you can see theirs, all right? So I want you to take a look and tell me what happens when you first see this image. Where do your eyes go, right? It focuses directly on a presenter, yeah? It makes sure that she is highlighted. That background in the back, that's the same as mine. Yeah, it's of a book still, right? It makes it seem like she's in the office, and look at the computer next to her and all of that stuff, right? So your background is very, very important. Here's my background that's underneath the one that I'm currently using. This is the one that was in I used to use, and it is not a virtual background, as you can see here, right? It's a very simple thing. I take two thumbtacks, hang it up against a wall, and my whole entire feel of my video presentation is changed. Yeah. So, very, very important. Next, let's get into what we talked about earlier: body language. Body, yada, 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 yada. Body language and expressiveness. What does that mean, right? Your facial structure. That means you're not just sitting there going, Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. You are, in fact, keeping your audience engaged, and that is the absolute most important thing. You have to make sure that when you're doing your video content, they are there for you and stay because they're enjoying who you are and what your presentations are, right? You need to be having movement. You need to have facial structure. And let me show you a couple of things. And one of the most important things that I'm going to tell you is eye contact. What does that look like? You need to look directly into the camera lens to create the impression of making eye contact with your audience. Avoid constantly checking yourself on your screen. Let me bring it full screen for you really quick to show you what it looks like. You've seen it, you've done it. And today you're going to say, oh, that's what happens. So, instinctively, our brain tells us that we want to talk to the person that we're looking at that's on the screen. And here's what it looks like though. So currently, the image of yourself would be down here, like in the Zoom, right? My monitor is here. So I'm looking at the person on Zoom currently right now, and it looks like in my brain, I'm talking to them. But honestly, when you're looking at me, you see me looking down. But in my brain, I'm talking to you. I'm cool. You need to learn to bring your eye contact here. It needs to stay in the camera. It is tough, but you need to learn to do it. But we want to learn to look at their expression and see if they're enjoying our conversations. Well, that's what we teach inside our advanced course. Teleprompters, how to use them effectively. That's what I'm using currently, a teleprompter. Matter of fact, note to self, put a picture of the teleprompter in here for next time so that they will understand. So make sure you avoid eye contact, right, with your monitor and look them directly in the eye. Take a look at this and tell me what you think of when you first see it. Hmm? Correct. Everyone is looking down at the monitor because the person who's talking, they see her face. Except me. Look at me. I'm still looking straight ahead into my teleprompter because her face is inside my teleprompter. Now, look at a few of these people here who I have talked to and worked with. Look at the difference in theirs. Everyone is looking at the camera, their eyes, their smile, because they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and you can read a person's eyes and, all of that stuff. But it's important, even virtually, that we look at the person because we want to make sure that they know that we are paying attention to what they are saying. Here's a little tip. I'm going to give you a freebie right here. Get a post-it note and do something just like this. Take it and put it up on your little uh, camera lens on your laptop or your computer or whatever you're looking at if you're not using a DSLR camera. And put it there so that you know to look here. Yeah. Little quick tip. Just grab a post-it note, grab a piece of paper, tape, and put it there so everyone knows. Now, along with the eye contact, we need to learn about facial gestures. Look at her, right? Look at how she's communicating with her face. Now, of course, this is over exaggerated because it's specifically a video to enhance that and emphasize it, but that's what it's all about, right? You have to use a variety of facial expressions. You want to convey emotions and engagement, smile when appropriate, and maintain a pleasant, approachable facial structure. Use hand gestures purposely to emphasize points and dynamisms to your presentations. However, though, you got to be a little careful and mindful of overdoing it. Excessive gestures can be distracting, right? But take a look at her face. So, in this next clip I'm about to show you, though, watch someone who's trying to do it, but watch their eyes and tell me the feel of what you're going to see when you look at this here. So, she is presenting her pitch and so forth, but she's trying to do it in the phone to make it look different than everyone else. But look where her eyes are at. Right? It does not look like she is looking at you. Right? She's looking down, but she's having you look at her face as she's looking down. Right? She should be looking into the camera. So these are the kind of things that you want to do. Next, you're going to see a gentleman who's going to do that also in the same type of way. And we were in a meeting and so forth, but look where his his eyes are at right there currently, right? You can see how he's looking down. Now watch the video of it, right? This is just a picture of it, but watch the video of this now. Okay. So we go to here. All right. Oh, the video took off. Got it. Perfect. All right. So now we want to make sure that we speak clearly. What does that mean? We get to enhance, we're going to enunciate our words and speak at a moderate pace. We're going to avoid mumbling or speaking too quickly, as this can make it difficult for viewers to understand. If you've noticed, I have been working at a pace. My voice, my tone goes up, it fluctuates, it comes back down. I get a little fast and I slow it down for a moment or two. And there's a great app that you're able to go look at. It does cost, but it tells you um, how many times you're using word fillers. Word speech, pace is very, very effective. It's called Speako. Let me double check my things here. Ooh, make sure I say it correctly. Speako. Yeah. Speeko. Speako, right? And let me go back to this for just a second because I want to see. There it is. There's a video. It didn't play. So look where he's looking at and talking to. Okay. It is low in his face. There is no eye contact in this at all. Right. So that's one of the things that we want to ensure that we're focusing on. Right. Because that's how it ends up looking at or looking rather when we're doing that. Okay. All right, perfect. So got the video. Just had to play it again. All right. So make sure you speak clearly, enunciate your words, and speak at a pace. You also want to make sure that you vary your tone. How do I fix my monotone voice? Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. Right? Have you ever been involved in a conference or a webinar, whatever it is, and the host sounds just like that? And you're like, you know what? This could have probably just been an email if you've been in those meetings. Make sure you use vocal inflections, right? You want to convey enthusiasm and keep the audience engaged. Avoid speaking in a monotone voice, which can be monotonous. You don't have to go overboard. You can fit it into your personality. Someone said in one of my coaching sessions, well, what if I just talk like this? And that's my natural voice. There's nothing wrong with that. Talk like that in your natural voice, but every once in a while, you can still and fluctuate. It doesn't have to be like this, right? It can be just like this. And I can say, you know what? That is a great point. I'm so glad that you brought that up, right? Those are little things that you're able to do. And you want to make sure that you emphasize. Don't rush, pause, take a breath to go through your content strategically to allow your audience to absorb information to emphasize the points. Did you get it? Right? So that pause give you an opportunity for your brain to say, oh, yeah, he's right. Did you get it? Yeah. These tips, I'm telling you, will help your speaking, your presentation when you're on camera. You wonder why people are not staying, they're leaving, they're not coming back. It's because you're just not presenting the information. Your information is great, but you're not presenting it in a way that works towards their way of learning. You have to take those times and those efforts to find out those things. All right. So before we get into the bonus content, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause for one little second to give you a commercial and updates on Ecamm. Ecamm is the system that I use, and I put a few links inside there for you guys to get a free trial. I think I need to change up a couple of things on that too as well. But you can grab a 14-day free trial of Ecamm for all Mac users only. PC users is a whole nother system, but this one is about Mac users. 14-day free trial for all Mac users. And if you use my code, I will take an hour of my coaching time that is usually $9.97 for an hour to teach you how to use it for your brand and for your presentations. So, one quick moment as we jump into, before we get to the bonus, that commercial, I want to show you just a little bit about it. Ladies and gentlemen, here you go.
You're bored with the traditional audio only format. Either way, I've got just the thing. Ecamm Live is the #1 choice for busy podcasters who want to easily create professional looking video podcasts. But why? They're more engaging for your audience, and video keeps their attention so they're more likely to stick around and become part of your community. Let me show you just how easy it is with Ecamm Live. You can drag and drop graphics right onto your show to make it more professional. And if you have a co-host or guests, bringing them onto your show is a breeze. You can even tweak the look of your guest video no matter where they are. And you can set up your scenes in advance so when your show starts, you can play your intro and easily switch between your scenes during the show. So it really simplifies your workflow and eliminates the need for a bunch of editing. Plus, your isolated audio tracks are saved right onto your computer along with your high quality video files. So there's no more waiting for a link to download your files. They're right there. And once you're done, you can upload it to your syndication platform. It's time to give your audience what they really want. So if you're ready to become a visual authority and take your podcast to the next level with video, join the Ecamm fam. Thousands of podcasters have already made the switch. We're just waiting on you.
We're just waiting on you. That's all. Join the Ecamm fam. I cam, you cam, we cam, all cam with Ecamm. So it is the system that I've been using. Everyone asks me, how do I get to look like this and do that? Ecamm 14-day free trial for all Mac users. Use my code. You'll get an hour of coaching to help you set up all of your stuff. Okay. So back to the bonuses because I know that's what you were wanting. I know everyone wants to know about these bonuses. Well, let's get into it. Option A, option B. We always got a choice of where we want to go to. We always got a choice of how to get there, right? Know your material. Be well prepared and knowledgeable about the content that you're presenting. Confidence comes from knowing your subject matter inside and out. People often say, well, I'm nervous to get on camera. I don't know what to say. I'm going to fumble my words. That's because you don't truly know your material. My material here I've done it so many times that I mix it up every once in a while, change it because I want it to be fresh and not sound like robotic. But I know this material inside and out. You got to know your material. Practice it over and over again. And speaking of practice, what is the best practice? Rehearse your presentation multiple times before recording or going live. This helps reduce nervousness and improve your delivery. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do any of that now. I don't. I don't. I teach it because it's what you need to do. I don't do that any longer now because I enjoy the thrill of oops, I made a mistake, right? Because I'm going live. I I teach now in our advanced course about the art of going live that you can see and going through some of these things that you're going to mess up on, right? But for you, starting off, if you're new, you want to get confident on camera, rehearse, get in front of a mirror, record yourself, then look at yourself. But don't worry about the perfectionism. Just do it, right? And then be authentic. That's what goes into what I'm talking about. When I get on live now, my folks, my viewers, everyone knows Lion is authentic. If he messes up, he messes up. And he's going to tell you, right? Transparency, genuineness, it's going to match my outer expression and my inner experience, right? Be yourself. It can make you more relatable and likable. Don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to be the speaker that you saw speaking at an event and doing this, that, or the other. Just be who you are, and your people will enjoy who you are. So, I currently talked about it, and I'm going to show you. I think this is old. We haven't updated it yet, but I'm still going to show it to you right now. So my programs were 4 weeks for my VIP course at $497, VCA Academy, which is the one I'm teaching part of now, which is teaching you to perform better on camera, is $297. But now we are doing the course, which is a 6 video course for $97. I put the link inside there so you can jump on that if you like. But like I told you before, it is not a necessity, right? Do it, get better, learn. Um, you need a coach, and I'm going to tell you why. Most people say I can do it on my own. You absolutely can. You can watch YouTube videos. You can do whatever. When I decided to get a coach, I skyrocketed. My money went higher. Everything came into play. But I'm going to show you a little video really quick, and it's going to be the last thing that I do to show you why a coach can help. Okay. So watch this. I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna end it and find out any more questions or anything like that because this is going to be very important. Take a look.
So, Coach, how strong is Westview this year?
A lot stronger than we are.
You already written Friday night down as a loss, Brock?
Well, not if I know we could beat them.
Come here, Brock. You too, Jeremy.
What, am I in trouble now?
Not yet. I want to see you do the death crawl again, except I want to see your absolute best.
What, you want me to go to the 30?
I think you can go the 50.
50. I can go to the 50 if nobody's on my back.
I think you can do it with Jeremy on your back. But even if you can, I want you to promise me you're going to do your best.
All right.
Your best.
Okay.
You going to give me your best?
I'm gonna give you my best.
All right, one more thing. I want you to do it blindfolded.
Why?
Because I don't want you giving up at a certain point when you could go further. Get down. Jeremy, get on his back. Now get a good tight hold, Jeremy. All right. Let's go, Brock. Keep your knees off the ground, just your hands and feet. There you go. A little bit left. A little bit left. There you go. Show me good effort.
Keep moving, Brock. That's it. That's it. That's it. Keep going. I want everything you got. Come on, keep going. It hurts. Don't quit on me. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go.
He's heavy.
I know he's heavy.
I'm bad strength.
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going, you hear me? You keep going. You're doing good. You keep going. Do not quit on me. You keep going.
It hurts.
I know it hurts. You keep going. You keep going. It's all hard from here. 30 more steps. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Keep going.
Burn.
And let it burn.
Ours are burning.
It's all hard. You keep going, Brock. Come on. Come on. Keep going. You promised me your best. Your best. Don't stop. Keep going.
Too hard.
It's not too hard. You keep going. Come on, Brock. Give me more. Give me more. Keep going. 20 more steps. 20 more. Keep going, Brock. Give me your best. Don't quit. No. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Brock Kelly, you don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Go, Brock Kelly. You don't quit on me. No, you keep going. You keep going. Go, Brock. 10 more steps. 10 more. 10 more. 10 more. Keep going. Don't quit. Give me yours. You can. You can. 5 more. 5 more. Come on, Brock. Come on. Don't quit. Don't quit. Come on, Brock. 2 more. 1 more.
Let's go to the 50. Let's go to the 50. I don't have any more.
Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone.
Look up. You're in the end zone. Hold on. Ooh, I had to wipe a little bit of tears away from my eye every time I watch that. I do it in every course, and it's the same thing. What am I telling you this for, right? Because you got to believe in yourself. I'm your coach. You just don't know it yet. I'm going to get you to the end zone. When you think to yourself, I can't be on video, I can't do it, I can get to the 30, maybe the 50. I'm going to tell you to put some blindfolds on and let's go. Keep going. Keep pushing so that when you look back 6 months, a year from now, you're going to say, whoa, that was me. I used to be afraid to get on camera. I used to be afraid to hold my meetings and do it the way it needed to be done. Because we're going to get you there. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to come be a part of this community, the art of going live. I'm going to make sure that you get to the end zone. I'm looking forward to it. Come on, let's do this together. Any further questions before I wrap this up? I got to go grab me some tissue. I got to go do it. Let's go do it. So, hey, no, thank you for coming in. Lion Flood, again, with VCA Academy, the art of going live. I'm looking forward to working with you. It's such a joy when my students, my clients come back to me and they say, "Wow, this has been such a joy. I'm enjoying doing this on my own." So, anyways, thank you all for attending and being a part of this. I got like 10 minutes left on this course, and that's it. So I guess I'll stick around for a few minutes just to see if there's any other questions and comments. Anyone wants to know something, man, make sure you check those links out, get those freebies, and then also I'll put in my 10 tips for you to look more professional on camera. Those are great tips to get you started, right? There's a free PDF download. Grab it, and let's look forward to it. So, all right, everyone. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great day. Lion Flood, PCA Academy. You're a professional. You deserve to look like one, talk like one, and act like one on camera.
Straight out of